it's very cool that we get to work together as brothers, and write music together. So I think we're very fortunate for that. And it could definitely be a little tough sometimes. We definitely don't always agree eye to eye on everything. But I think at the end of the day, we understand what type of music we want to be putting out together, and we come to a compromise. And I think that's the most important thing in a collaborative process is that you might have an idea, but the other person might not necessarily vibe with that idea. And I think it's important to be open-minded and create every song as kind of more like a brainstorming session where there's no right or wrong answers. It's more just you're throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks with the people you're working with. So I think that's kind of our process of how we come up with music. A lot of time I'll come to Ryan with an idea and he'll build off of it, or vice versa. He'll come to me with an idea and I'll add melodies, and then we kind of write the lyrics together. Sometimes it's definitely more weighted one way or the other, but at the end of the day, I think we work together to create the best possible song together. For this song in particular, I think Ryan had, if I remember correctly, you had the initial like guitar part, and you had like a line like "Your mama thinks that you're so divine" or something like that. And I think we just took that and just like built out what we wanted the song to mean. And because you did that, and then I did this piano
part, yeah.
Yeah, so like Ryan kind of started playing that, and then Ryan started off with this guitar part right here, and then I kind of heard like this like 90s-ish like kind of piano part. So we had that basic melody and structure down, and then I think
it's pretty much the song.
And then I think once he started singing that, I think you were singing, "Your mama thinks that you're so divine."
I was singing something like that.
You were singing something like that. I don't know if it was exactly that, and I think I heard that, and I was like, that should be the opening line right there. And then we had this whole concept of like, she thinks this, but so do I. And so it was like kind of a call and response of like, every line was like, has to be something that you would mutually feel for a person, that their mother also feels for them.
That's the key.
That's
how it is with like every song though, because like it's more just like what's the story of the song, and it's like it could be personal, but it also is like how is it relatable to everybody. So it's like could potentially be also something that if it's you writing a song about your experience, how does that song also relate to me potentially?
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's a key thing that Ryan just touched on is like we don't want to be extremely vague in our lyrics, but I think it's important for us to write a song that can be translated with different meanings depending on who the listener is and interpreted in different ways. And so even though it might mean one thing to us, if it can mean 10 things to 10 different people, then I think it's a more effective lyric because then it can be interpreted in many different ways.